he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's what truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion. My peasant's disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear the haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new Bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost. Like who's you? Remember. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's what truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a big.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And do not be fooled by his demeanor. I know he's quiet and he's serene. He's an avid surfer. He's from Hawaii. But this guy wants to dominate you out in the football field, and often does.
Mariota on first down. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And now we get a peek at the Titan offense.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Safarian Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Oh, look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mariota. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. A look now at the Miami offense.
One of the things I've always enjoyed about watching Kenny Stills play is his passion for the game. You can tell he absolutely loves being out there. He has a ball when he's out on the football field. But the other thing, he can fool you. He looks like a slot receiver, but runs great routes from the outside and creates big plays downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Dawson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the gun, Dawson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Following the interception here, Mariota. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. A nice gain at 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Safarian Jenkins has it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. He juked him, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for the Dolphins. 48 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw. Dawson. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Bouncing back nicely from the bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Mariota to throw it. Uncorks one for Davis. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
3-19.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Operating from the gun, Dawson. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
All right, here we go.
To throw on third down. Dawson going deep here for and this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, 43 yards. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Sanders now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up in McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A good return there, 17 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
All right, here we go. Green.
To throw on 2nd down. Dawson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Back to throw. Dawson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Two big plays in succession, and the Dolphins on the move. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Dawson. He's going to float this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
3-19!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, probably that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Mariota again. Got a man, that's Allison. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing, Mariota. Open here is Allison, that's complete. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Again, it's Mariota. He finds Corey Davis. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Mariota now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Mariota over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Mariota again. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. In for the score. And the Titans have made this a 1-score game. Now, he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Throwing on 1st down. Dawson. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught at the 20. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Sanders now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Shrugs him off. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This is the 4th and final game here on this wildcard weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC wildcard game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
So much for halftime adjustments by the defense, because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure in the offensive side, they said, well, there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going at them, keep handing them the football.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. 48 yards. Now the interception by the Titans D leads to a touchdown. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Out come the Titans now. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Second down, Mariota. Tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a South Florida native, Patrick Peterson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Jennings was the one he was looking for.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double-A gap blitz, there's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Looking to throw on second down. Dawson. This is caught. And he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind him.
Sanders on for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Sanders now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
On 3rd down, Mariota. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Here's Mariota. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He will find Davis on the left side complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short, and that leads to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Rosas puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw on second down. Dawson, he's going to float this. That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. And even 50 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And now with the play clock winding down, Adam Gase says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
All
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Sanders now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Mariota. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Mariota. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And now back out comes the offense. Can't officially call this a win for them yet, but it's looking good to move on to the divisional round. They'll be on the road, of course, as an underdog. But the age-old question, would you rather have the momentum they're going to have or sitting at home with a bye? I'm sure you'd probably rather have the bye.
You remember that conference call we had before the playoffs started? We were talking with some people in the industry and some of the coaches that are out there. And we kind of posed the same question. You know, if you're coming off of a game like this, you know, and you're taking out a team that had that open week, which way do you want to go? And you remember the answer they gave us? I want the better team. Okay,
absolutely.
I get it. But I think there's a lot to having that momentum of having played versus coming off of that layoff because maybe you start a little bit slower. We see those upsets happen all the time.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's something there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Mariota. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Shaq Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st down, Dawson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 more there and another 1st down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. fullback getting the carry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Looking to throw. Dawson. And that is incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jennings. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Mariota. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Let's go.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans are able to make this a close game again.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it, but even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Right back to him on 1st down. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.